Hey guys, Tina Service here with how to create $1 million cleaning company using independent contractors. And today I want to show you how to create blogs using RSS feeds and a little bit of ChatGPT and Dolly and automation. So stick around to the end of this video and I will give you the scenario and all the prompts that you need so that you can actually implement this entire workflow for your own company. Okay, guys, so this one is in the category of how difficult is it to do this? I would say it's a little bit more on the advanced level, but the good news is I'm going to show you how to do this. And then I'm going to give you this scenario that you can actually import into your own Make account. So Make is a little bit like Zapier, but it's like a non-code tool. So it does like a lot of JSON and Python and stuff like that, but not to get too deep into the weeds on that. All you really need to do is basically follow everything that I'm doing here on your own side when you get your Make account, and then just import my scenario, and it's going to have all the prompts and everything in there. The only thing that's going to be different is your username and sign on, and of course your own WordPress account. So this is going to be posting blogs on your WordPress. So okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to start this scenario off using an RSS feed. So if you're not familiar with RSS feed, it's really simple syndication is what it stands for. And I use this app called RSS.app. And what you're going to do here is you're going to go ahead and you're going to create an account. You're going to log in, and then you're going to type the topic that you want to talk about in this RSS feed. And what this is going to do is it's going to pull back the information that's out there on the internet based on the information that you put in here. So I'm going to do house cleaning tips and tricks, but maybe yours is power washing tips and tricks, or carpet cleaning tips and tricks, or window washing tips and tricks. I mean, it doesn't matter what type of industry you're in. You can do this for AI, like how you can use AI in your business. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and hit generate. And now what it's going to do is it's going to go out to the web and it's going to go pull back some feeds that it has data on. So you can see this one is on 22 Genius Cleaning Hacks for a Spotless Home. This one is here's how to clean your shower head using ingredients you have in your pantry. This one is how to clean up your garage and get the most out of it, the space. So if I'm happy with this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and save the feed, and it's going to give me this URL. So I'm going to copy this URL, and then this is the URL that we're going to put into this RSS feed scenario here. So if you're just getting started with this, you would actually, let me just unlink this. You would actually come in here and you're going to grab an RSS feed and you're going to tell it to go and retrieve RSS information. Okay, so I'm just going to go through that again. So mine is already here, so ignore that. But if you don't have this scenario set up and you're doing it, you're just following along and you're not using my scenario that you imported, you would, let me just delete this one. You would go ahead and create a new app. You're going to do RSS feed and you're going to go retrieve RSS feed items. You're going to click that. You're going to add the URL here. And then you can also add a date from, right? So let's say that you want to start this from July 1st because maybe you want to go back to the beginning of July. So you can absolutely do that. And I put the maximum number of returns at 1. Okay. All right. So anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and delete this module because we don't need it. And I'm going to reconnect here. So this is ChatGPT. You're going to have your own ChatGPT account. So make sure you go to chatgpt.com and create an account in there, and make sure you add, if it needs any money, go add some money to it so that it can pull the data back for you. But in here, this first section, what we're going to do is we're going to tell it to take the data that it pulled from this RSS feed, and we're going to ask it to go create a new blog title based on the information that we fed it. So here is your OpenAI connection. You're going to want to go through the steps here to get connected. I'm already connected, so it's going to just automatically connect to my ChatGPT. And then you're going to select the method. So the method is we're going to ask it to complete something and not do a prompt. And then I use ChatGPT 4.0, but if you don't have the paid version, you can definitely use 3.5 as well. Down here under messages, the role is going to be user. So you have system user and assistant. We want this one to be user. And then this is basically the instructions that we're telling ChatGPT to do. So you're a blog writer and your job is to turn the following article into a unique SEO optimized blog post. Here's the title of the article and here is the URL. Please read it. Based on the information above, please generate an SEO optimized article title. So just the title. And how you pull this information in is if you click here, it's going to pop up this first module. So this is going to be step number 1. And all we got to do is just drag this over and drop it. So now you see I have 2 titles, but I only want to have 1. So title there, and then the URL is over here on the side. So the URL, you're going to pull that and you're just going to let it sit there. So based on the above information, please generate that title. I don't want it to be any more than 10 words and just 1 sentence, and please don't put any quotes around the title. Okay, then you're going to hit OK. All right, and then this next one, we're going to tell ChatGPT that we want it to create a DALL-E 3 image based on that title and that URL. So again, if you don't have DALL-E 3, you're going to need to go and sign up for it. But in this module here, all we're doing is the same thing. So create a completion. We're going to use model 4.0. It's going to be set up as a user. And then this is the message. You are creating an image for blog posts. Here's the content of the blog. So if you remember, we're going to go pull that title and the URL over here again. We're going to tell it to return a DALL-E 3 image prompt to generate the image. And we don't want it to use any more than 1,000 tokens. So this is what it's going to just keep running if you don't put this limit in here, and it doesn't need to run that much. So just put 1,000 tokens in there. Okay. So once we have this step completed, we're going to go on to the 4th step, which is create the actual image. Also, I just want to point out that I like to be able to title this information up here so that when I pull these scenarios up, I can see where I'm at. So this is RSS module. The RSS is module 1. And over on the left, you're going to see it blinking just a little bit over there. And then here, you're going to see that the first ChatGPT is pulsing. You can see that that's where this data is coming from. But I also like to have the title here so I can see like, oh, okay, that's the blog title that I created. Okay, so then this you can see is the image prompt that we gave it. So now we're saying, okay, DALL-E 3, go take this information that we just gave you over here in this prompt. I want you to go and create this image based on the content that it created. And by the way, I want it to be a 1024 by 1024. I want it to be of standard quality. I want it to be vivid, and I want your response format to be image file, so not a URL. And then we're just going to go ahead and hit OK here. Okay, lots of information. Don't forget to, if you're finding this information useful, to go ahead and subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so you can get notified when I have some new content up there. Also, don't forget to stick around to the end where I'm going to give you my actual scenario that you can import into your own Make account. You're just going to import the blueprint once I give you the blueprint. So stick around to the end and I'm going to show you how to get this blueprint. Okay, so we're going to head over here now and we're going to finish up this actual blog post. So now we have all the components. We have the blog title, we have the image generation prompt, we have the image that got generated, and now we're going to create the blog. So we're saying, hey, ChatGPT, take this article, URL, here's the title and the message, right? So this information is going to come from blog title, and it's going to be right here. Usage, we're going to go to choices, and then we're going to go to message, and right here is the content. So you're just going to pull that information over here, and you're going to see that it's taking the return information that you created in that previous step. Okay. So now we give it the prompt. You're a blog writer and you're turning this article given above into a unique SEO optimized blog post. We don't want it to recreate it and or not recreate it, but we don't want it to basically copy everything that's in that article. we wanted to actually use some logic and go create a new SEO optimized blog post. The title is already, I can see I spelled this wrong. The title is already written. So please start with the body of the article. So we're telling ChatGPT, don't go out and create a title because we already have it done. All right. Okay. And then we want it, when it's creating the blog, we want it to use H1, H2, and H3 headers. And we want it to use HTML. So we also are telling it that it can choose what items that it can bold and bullet point. And we're also giving it the CSS information on how to do that, right? So most of the time it's going to be able to create this information on its own. But I like to put this data in here just so that it knows when to create bullets and when to create lists on its own. And then you can put it as this blog post should be approximately 1,500 words long. I would not do a blog post that is less than 1,500 words. So, I mean, you could even change this to like 1,800 and you would still be safe with that. And then max tokens, I have at 4096, but you could certainly put 2,400 or whatever you want to put here. But I like it because I'm doing a longer post with that image. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. Okay, so next step is we have to go in and connect our WordPress site. So here, again, you should have access to your WordPress. Go ahead and get yourself connected over here. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're just telling it we're doing this. We're going to pull this file that's coming from all of the stuff that we generated in the previous steps. And this is what we're going to be pushing over to WordPress. So all we have to do is just click this here and then hit OK. We don't have to do anything else. And then this is where it's going to actually create the post. So this is where it's creating your media item, the Dolly 3, and then this is where it's creating the actual blog post. And I did notice that my image is showing up at the bottom of my post. So I actually may want to map that a little bit differently. But for right now, it's okay showing up at the bottom because I can always move it. Okay, so in here, we're going to actually create the post. And again, all these titles are important. So like this is telling me what this actual module is doing. It's creating the media item, and then this one is creating the post. So I'm connected to my WordPress. I'm going to tell it what the title is, and that title information is going to come from, you guessed it, the blog title, right? Because that's way back here in this step here. And you're going to be able to pull this data if you go down on this section here. You can see here's the blog title, and we're going to want to grab the choices and messages. So go to choices, go to message, do that drop down, and then grab that content and just pull it back up here again. All right, so now we got the title, and then we got to go grab the content. So the content is going to come from this last step where it created the blog. And same thing. So if we want to pull this over, we're going to go to this last step, which is this Open AI, and we're going to go down to choices. We're going to go to message. We're going to hit the content, and we're going to pull it over. And I did notice that my content data coming back is showing this HTML. So let me see if I can get rid of that. So I wasn't able to get rid of that HTML, but I'm going to work on that. Anyhow, it's not super important. I'll show you where that shows up in the WordPress, and you can actually just delete it from there. For the content, we do have to do some formatting for this because ChatGPT isn't going to know how to format the actual blog post if we don't tell it. So we're telling it to center and do this WT block image size. And then we're going to show, we're going to give it this guide over here, which again is going to show up over here on your left-hand side. And then we're going to give it some more style, like the width is 650 and the height. And then we're going to center everything. Okay. And then this next step, the type, is we're going to make it a post. So just a note to yourself, when you're creating another one of these, if you've decided like, you're like, oh, this is really cool. Instead of just doing blog posts, I want to go create a few pages for my company as well. You can do that too. And you can make them really SEO focused. So we're going to go ahead and do post here. And then I don't put any other information on this because I do it right inside of my actual blog post when I'm in there, and I'll show you that information. I've done this a few times now, so I trust the information that is pushing back to me. So I put it in publish mode. However, if it's not something you're super comfortable with, you can definitely put it in draft or pending and it won't go out there. You can also select the categories that you want this blog to be under. I'm going to take off some of them because it's not going to really be pertaining like the COVID and the pandemic and stuff. And it may not necessarily be like a spring cleaning and a move in, move out. And I'm going to take off apartment cleaning. And then you can also add tags down here as well. So if you want to add tags to your article, you can do that. And then you can also add the author of the article. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. One thing that I didn't mention to you guys is that you do want to consistently hit save throughout this process. So if you ever end up leaving this or exiting this page, Make is not going to save it for you. So make sure you hit save. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to run this scenario and I'm going to let this run. We're going to give this, it's not going to take too long to get through here, but what I'm going to do is let this run and then we're going to jump over to the WordPress site and I'm going to show you what the finished product looks like. Okay, guys, and just like that, that is done. It literally took less than a minute, maybe 45 seconds tops. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to jump over to, and by the way, I'm going to hit save again. I'm going to jump over to my WordPress. I've already logged into the back end. Let me just go back one page and we're going to go pull up the newest blog that I created. So this one is Effortless Habits of Women Who Maintain a Spotless Home. Interesting that it said women. We might want to edit that title a little bit. But you can see, I just want to show you that I create blogs every single day. So this has been creating blogs for me right along. There's quite a few in here. I mean, because I do it every single day, but let's go take a look at this one. So we're going to view this. I'm going to change that title, obviously, but you can see that it came up with the H1. So this is an H1, this is H2 and H3, if you're familiar with headers in WordPress. And we're going to go all the way down to the bottom and see what the image looks like. Okay, so the image is okay. It's I like it. It looks a little futuristic, but if this is not something that you like, you don't have to use this. You can use your own images that you've already purchased or whatever. So if you don't want to use this, just take that dolly step out of the scenario. But here it is. All right, everyone, I hope this was helpful for you. And please let me know if you have any questions. And by the way, since you stuck around to the end, you are now going to find out how you can get this scenario. I'm going to put a comment down at the bottom of this video and you can send me over a message and I'll send you over the scenario.